Me and Getty were friends before the Outcasts. I mean, Getty was a year older than me. We sort of met at Scouts when I was about 9. We'd actually started playing a little bit, me, Getty and 2 other guys, about 6 months before the Outcasts started. We weren't punks or anything at this stage. We were trying to learn Bowie songs and stuff, very, very unsuccessfully. But Martin and Colin had become punks. So me and Getty started copying them. This was before we'd actually decided to form a band. We just liked the way they looked. And they started bringing us out, that classic thing when your older brothers allow you out with them. It took me and Getty down to Bangor, and we started to see a whole punk scene there. And then Martin decided he wanted to form a band.
I always sort of felt a bit sorry for Getty because being in a band with one of the Coen brothers would be bad enough, but in a band with 3 of them and arguing and fighting.
Getty was a very good guitarist and a very original guitarist, but where he really came to the fore was on stage. I mean, Getty was the way Getty looked and the way Getty played was our sort of on stage image for ages. I mean, people didn't look at me as a singer. People looked at Getty because he'd be rolling his eyes and doing his wee moves on the guitar. And he was a brilliant looking guitarist, and then years later could actually back it up by his playing. Getty was also Getty lived his life as a punk more so than I ever did. So I mean, I know Getty was very, very proud of his Outcast days. I know he was. He just didn't want that to carry on into later life. He wasn't still chasing something.
I think he just had enough of it all. He had done it all, and there was nothing. He didn't have anything to prove to anybody. He had got married. He had settled down, and he was comfortable with his life. His wife told us that sometimes she would come home and catch him, and he was watching Good Vibrations.
I took my knife out of the kitchen drawer. I waited for you to call.
A lot of my musical influence, as I said, David Bowie, Lou Reed, Velvet Underground, New York Dolls, and things like that. There, it was Getty had been into them pre-punk, not me. And when Lou Reed died, I mean, I think I was away on holidays somewhere, and a text arrived that just said, "Oh, Greg, Lou's dead," and without me even recognising the number or anything, I knew it was Getty. Who else? But that was my last sort of contact with him.
I really, really missed that contact with Getty. Getty was just so much a part of my life because we were seeing each other every day, going to gigs, going to London together, going everywhere together. We had some great times together. He used to look after me. I used to get up to all sorts of nonsense, and Getty driving the van and getting me home at night, which sometimes wasn't easy. Some nights I didn't want to go home, wanted to party, but he'd go, "Get in that van, we're going now," and stuff was great. But the thing about it was that everybody loved Getty. We were just like wee guys from Belfast that didn't have a clue and weren't part of that whole glossy glam rock sort of, lifestyle. And it wasn't for us, but we had some laughs. Getty on stage looked so fierce, far from the character that he was. Getty was really a very gentle soul, and they all loved Getty. The thing about Getty is, I think Getty was a lot more intelligent than people thought he was. There's things about Getty that I don't think we'll ever know. It was very deep in some ways. I think it was Greg phoned me first and told me that Getty had died. And it really was a shock. And it brought back a lot of memories, a lot of good memories. I can't remember ever having any bad memories with Getty.
I always knew I didn't see Getty year to year. We would maybe be in touch with the odd text and things like that there. But I always imagined there'd be a magical period when we're all sitting just looking back on some of the things that we did and laugh about it. I mean, that's what I've been robbed of, from a personal level. I mean, Getty was still the oldest friend that I ever had, and a true friendship doesn't really die because you haven't seen somebody for like a few years. They're still there in your head, and he's still there in my head even though he's dead. But God, I've just missed that time when we would just be sitting over a few drinks just thinking about our entire lives.
The day after the funeral really hit me very badly. I broke down. I got up the next morning and I just thought about it all. I thought about all the great times I had and all the things that we'd done together and shared together.
Your first initial shock, that there's a wee bit of unbelief, and then just a feeling of real emptiness. It was just solid grief. I mean, he was my best friend. It still is in my head. I'm never going to see him again.
It's not been a good year at all. Far from it. I'll be fucking glad to see this year over. Because we lost Bowie, we lost Prince, we lost Leonard Cohen, and we lost Getty. I wasn't looking forward to talking about Getty at all. And I do feel a bit strange talking about him because I honestly don't believe that he's gone. I still believe he's here with us somewhere, you know. Maybe because I didn't see him in the last few years or something, but I just feel that he's still here with us. And he'll always be, when you listen to the music, he'll always be here with us, and that's a great thing.